But coming up next, wedding week chaos for EastEnders Elaine. Will she or won't she make it down the aisle? Harriet Thorpe has the gossip and...
Any makeup, I like a natural look. Time, ladies, please!
Oh, right, OK, guess that means there's a break. We're back with Harriet next. Listen, more excitement. EastEnders now. Queen Vic landlady Elaine is due to marry George next week, but she thinks he might still have the hots for ex-wife Cindy. Little does she know, Cindy has actually been sneaking about with George's son Junior. And if that wasn't bad enough, her own ex-husband's lover, drag queen Drew Peacock, yes, has turned up, and frankly, she's been left a bit confused about her marriage, as I am about the storyline. This might help.
If anyone had told me what my hen party plans were...
The theme is glamour, that is all you need to know.
I'm here to say you are welcome next week.
Why, what's next week?
The wedding.
Please give a warm Walford welcome to Drew Peacock! Elaine.
Get out of here now! For the last 10 years of our lives together, I shared your father.
I just want to know what happened. Who are you?
Not my story to tell.
He was the other woman. Your dad was gay. Like guilt and shame of keeping it hidden from everyone. Yes, I think that's what killed him.
No! What killed him was being married to a selfish old slag like you!
I'm too old to make the same mistakes. I want a watertight prenup before marrying George.
Wow, please welcome Harriet Thorpe. My God. I mean, talk about juicy storylines,
She's
Harriet.
busy.
She's busy. She's busy.
She's busy.
And so that was the most recent scene that at her hen do,
Yeah.
she discovers that the drag act, was actually her former husband's gay lover.
Yeah, which she knew about.
Which she knew about.
And the important thing was that she protected her husband because he wasn't free to come out. He
Right,
was scared.
OK.
She wasn't. And ultimately, she wanted him to be happy.
Right, OK.
But he wasn't able to. So she had this front that she puts on for her life to cope, like
Right.
we all do. In difficult circumstances, we pretend everything's OK. And that's why she has the sort of face on, you know, the show must go on is her mantra.
Wow.
And
And
she
so what was
tells her daughter.
the conversation with the lover?
It was a very moving time because obviously they both loved the same person. And in the end, there was a kind of meeting together of realising that actually they probably would be friends in life had they not had that issue. And she wasn't against her husband being gay, but he was frightened to be honest.
I'm fascinated because you've got this story now, but I know that in your family, your mother was a screenwriter and many years ago wrote for a film called The Leather Boys with Rita Tushingham.
It was her novel originally.
It was her novel originally,
Yeah, and it was about working-class biker boys who fell in love when it was still illegal to be gay.
I mean, that's
In
extraordinary.
the early 60s, and I remember being on the set when I was about 5. But it was amazing to have that voice for people who absolutely legally had no voice. And so to do this now, to honour that again for all the people that we lost during HIV and AIDS epidemic, and this journey of this character, to carry on speaking up was very important to me.
I mean, we're desperate getting back to storylines and stuff. We're desperate to know about the wedding. What's going to happen?
Sorry?
I know. You could have at least whispered it in the break, but even in the break, you're like, no, you'll have to watch it. That must be so hard. Tell your family the storylines.
No.
Really?
No, you can't.
Oh.
No, you can't. You have to keep...
Oh,
it
I couldn't
depends
be
on...
in a soap. I can't keep my mouth shut.
You see? I rest my case.
Yeah, I can't keep my mouth shut. If you told me that, I'd tell them all.
Do you see?
I'm honest.
I'm interested to know, I mean, because obviously I'm in the soaps as well, that the great thing about this is the opportunities you get to explore so many different aspects of yourself, and you can find yourself in a really serious, heavy storyline. You can find yourself in a comedy storyline. Which do you prefer?
I like it all. and I know that sounds weird, but what other job as actors do you have to keep evolving? If you're in a play, it's wonderful, but you say the same thing. With this, we get storylines from left field that we could never even have imagined. And we get to keep moving forward as a character. And people dismiss soaps, but as I said, whether you're 9 or 90, there is a story for you.
I love what you said. I've heard you say that, you know, we're in soap operas and that's where we are doing opera. We are singing our stories out.
Absolutely.
And you're not sort of larger than life in a way. But you have always played quite larger than life characters, occasionally quite psychotic characters, dare I say.
Always. No, I would say, I would honour that.
We've both appeared in Ab Fab, though you were in it an awful lot more than me. I was only in one episode. And that was the sort of comedy element of it. But how much do you think there is a part of you in each of those characters, or how much, and how much do you think people are seeing a part of you that you either don't or do recognise?
But there's an element, isn't there, of everything we play that we identify with. We don't have to, you know, if I'm in Shakespeare, I'm an old tart or a wicked queen, you know, but I don't have to have done any of those things to understand feelings. And it's the feelings that you get from your own life, from difficult times, that you draw on, but manifest because somebody else has written a voice and a person.
And also, you were kind of born into this profession also, weren't you? Your parents, your mum, you said, you're right, your father also, and you were taken off to LA when you were very young, which at that time must have been like a different world from the UK.
Well, it was. My sister and I, who's also an actress, Matilda Thorpe, we were little children at a normal state primary school, where, you remember the food? It was all kind of grey.
Yeah.
Thank
Still
you.
is.
Memories, and suddenly I was in Beverly Hills, and, we went to school, and they had an ice cream machine, and they had pizza and, you know, chocolate milk.
In the school?
Yeah.
And you used to get...
Now she's interested.
You see?
Now I want to go to school.
Inspired, I think, to become an actress as a result of the time you spent waitressing in Joe Allen's, which was a total, like, institution in the theatre world, wasn't it? Is it still open?
Joe Allen's is still open. And
describe what it was like in its heyday, which
it was the only restaurant. It's one in New York, and then one opened in London. And every single theatrical film star musician came to Joe's because it was like a kind of cafe where everyone, you know, you just had... there's burger and chips on the menu if you know. It's not on the menu, but if you know, you know. And I served Tennessee Williams chili.
Wow.
I mean, everyone was... Danny LaRue was in there everyone was there. It was the most... Diana Ross was in there. I mean, everyone was there. And I was a waitress. I was about, I think, 19. And, it just opened in the 70s. I'm only 35, I don't know.
I know.
We're all
I know. Stories.
Our dreams.
Well, listen, it's been lovely to have you here, Harriet. It really has. And, of course, EastEnders tonight, 7:30, BBC One, and you can also find it on the iPlayer. Big round of applause for Harriet Thorpe.